And joining you now here on 105.3 The Fan is Stephen Jones. And a good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks for joining us once again. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Reports Will McClay is staying once again. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that, comes up every year because obviously he's a guy who does an amazing job for us and had a big finger in, what we do in terms of not only putting together our roster every year through the draft, free agency, all the ways trades, the way you acquire talent, but also working with our coaching staff and really understanding, with Jerry and I, what we need to do to give our staff every chance in the world to put together a championship team. But obviously we think the world of Will and, always want him to be a Cowboy, but, everything's always a work in progress.
So do you see that like as a foreseeable future thing, or is it year to year? Very popular guy every year, like you said.
Yeah, as long as, obviously when we have the success we've had over the years, and certainly people seem to think we do a good job drafting, which we're confident in, then, Will's always, I'm sure, going to be presented opportunities. And, we just, don't ever take that for granted. But we also, like you said, I mean, we'd love for Will to be here for as long as we can keep him here.
Does it require or would you consider elevating his title to a place that he wouldn't be looking to, for a higher title somewhere else? It would be impossible.
I'm not into titles or anything like that. I've never been a title guy, and we're just going to keep doing what we do. It's working.
Just Super Bowl titles, right?
That's right.
Yes, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I mean, you get 2 home games now, hopefully, as long as you beat Green Bay. Is it fair to say this might be the best opportunity you guys have had in recent memory to go on that run?
Well, it's certainly laid out for us, but I can assure you one thing. There's only one thing this coaching staff and this team and the organization's worried about, and that's the Packers. I mean, they're played at a high level down the stretch. They were 7-3, have a really good young quarterback who's playing at a high level, and we just have to, obviously focus on the task at hand, which is beating the Packers. As you said, there's some things that lay out well for us that because we played well during the season, we give ourselves an opportunity to have advantages, but we'll take it week by week. That's the only way you can do that in the playoffs. Obviously, teams are in these playoffs because they've had successful years and they play really good football, so we got our work cut out for us.
We know Jerry's a pretty superstitious guy. Is it true that he laid down the law all week long, no cheese consumed by any players or coaches?
Well, I may have missed it, but who knows? But he is superstitious, and I am as well. But like I said, I don't think anyone's taking the cheese, as Bill Parcells used to say. Everybody's focused on this football game and know, we've got to go out and execute and play at a high level if we want to beat the Packers and take the next step.
Well, and not to get too personal here, Stephen, but we did get a Tolo that texted in. Do you ever call Jerry Dad, or is it always just Jerry?
When I'm talking to him, it's Dad. I mean, he's been obviously my father forever, and times professionally, I'll refer to him as Jerry, and but when he and I are talking, it's I always refer to him as Dad.
Stephen, have the Packers been, as you look at the playoffs throughout your history of being with the team, some of your greatest moments and also some of your worst moments of playoff football?
Probably fair to say. We have had our share of good ones, but we've also, had our share of disappointments. And when you play guys like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, that's going to happen. And obviously, the Packers organization is one of the best in the NFL. They always do a great job. Always have great coaches and great players, and they're a great organization. So you got your hands full every time you go up against them. And as you said, we've had some really big wins, but we've also had our share of disappointments.
Well, at least Aaron Rodgers, that boogeyman, is not part of this one. But Jordan Love's been playing really good football. What did you guys think of him coming out of the draft, and what do you think of the way he's been playing?
Yeah, I think we taught a lot of him coming out. I felt like he was that first-round caliber type of skill set, and obviously he's finally getting an opportunity after Aaron moved on, and he certainly started off, as all young quarterbacks do, who hadn't played a lot, learning the ropes a little bit, but they've just done a great job with him and putting him in great positions to win football games for him, and I think he's playing at a high level.
Steven, is being around Mike McCarthy on Packer Week a good thing or a bad thing?
I can tell you this: he's focused, and obviously we lost when we went up there, and had a chance to get him, but we didn't finish. And certainly, I know he's not going to say it, but deep down,
sure,
when you go against a team that you've been a big part of its storied past, then you want to go win that football game. And that always happens in this league. You end up going against people who are either are ex-Cowboys, or we have people on our team that played against a team we may be playing, and there's no doubt I think it brings a little extra that you can't help it, a little extra to the competition when you line up.
Steven, he has a street named of him after him up there. If he get a Super Bowl here, could we get a street name for him at the Star?
I bet that's very possible,
okay,
Brian. At the end of the day, people who win championships around here, whether
sure,
it's rings of honor, whether it's streets, whether it's the appropriate places, we all know how hard it is to win in this league. We all know especially how hard it is to win a Super Bowl championship, and when one of those happen, the people ultimately get the proper recognition.
AP All-Pro list came out today. You got 9 Cowboys that made either the first or the second team. How proud are you of that?
I think it's just outstanding. These guys have worked hard all year. They're not 12-5 by accident. They don't have, they didn't win the East. They didn't certainly give ourselves a chance to have several home games here by accident. These guys have worked their butts off all year. Not only are they, great skills, great talents around here, but these guys are men who work and have the right football character. Certainly Dak leads the way with that in terms of the leadership he provides, but the whole group's bought in, and so well deserved by so many guys. And I'm sure there's guys, I hadn't seen the full look, but I'm sure there's guys who should have been considered that didn't make it, but their time will come.
Was this Dak's best season ever?
I think it's got to be right there. I mean, obviously, the season's not over. We'll see. And, when it's all said and done, it could go down. As you know, quarterbacks and head coaches and those guys, once you establish yourself, as a franchise quarterback / great player, the next step are to win the championships. And I know Dak wants to take that next step.
Speaking of that, the next step, I know this game is so huge, Steve, but I was just looking at like the offseason. This team's going to be around, isn't it? We're not going anywhere after this year. The window, if you believe in window talk, that thing is firmly open for the foreseeable future, aren't we?
Yeah, we like our foundation. We like where we are from a salary cap standpoint in terms of keeping the guys that we need to keep around here, whether it's Dak, whether it's CD, whether it's Micah. Just to head up the list. But speaking of all pros, but those are guys that are going to be a big part of this. Inevitably you lose guys that you wish you could keep. We just have a great group of players here, but unfortunately you don't always get to keep them all. And when you have a successful team and you play for the Cowboys, then a lot of times that can help you get rewarded. Sometimes maybe not where where they want to be in terms of most of our players, I feel like, want to stay here, but sometimes, to get what they rightfully deserve, the reward, if you will, in terms of monetarily, then they have to, make the deal somewhere else. But overall, we feel really good about the foundation of this football team. We obviously, we're focused on the task at hand, but there's a few of us who obviously have to keep our eye on the ball in terms of what the cap, what the salary cap's going to look like, and how we fill holes if we happen to lose players.
It seems like, you mentioned the guys being focused a couple of times. Not only are they focused on the goal, but they're talking championship. Like, I don't remember the Cowboys talking about it in previous years. They're speaking about their confidence and like counting down, what needs to be done, like we just saw the Rangers do, actually.
Well, they have their eye on the ball, and it certainly starts with starts at the top with Jerry. I can assure you where his eye is, and then certainly Coach McCarthy and his staff are laser focused, and then starting with Dak, our leadership council, this team, you feel the intensity, in the building, and I think they got their eye on the ball, and I'll be surprised if we don't go out and play some of our best football.
Seems like you're pretty dang healthy. Looking at this practice report, this is good news, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great news. I mean, you obviously, it's almost impossible this day and time to, not have some guys that end up on the injury list like Diggs and Leighton Vander Esch. You miss guys like that, but all 32 have that issue, and that's why you gotta, really have a great roster from top to bottom, because ultimately guys are going to have to play, and that aren't necessarily start out as the anointed starters, but we feel good about the health of this team. Stefan's had a great week. He'll be ready to roll, and overall we feel good about the depth on this roster, and we just got to go out and execute and play at a high level. It's great we're doing it at AT&T Stadium, where we feel like we play our best football. We're so fortunate to have what we believe are the best fans, in the NFL, and I know the atmosphere will be electric, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, Steven, it's a whiteout game. What do you recommend for a big fat guy like me wearing white? I don't think that's probably the best idea to do. I mean,
I think you'd look good in a good white tux, Brian.
You think so?
Yeah, get you a good tux on and get rolling, and a white tux, you'll be set.
I look like Fats Domino out there doing the Fats, but
you and I are always looking in the same sections in terms of something to hide, something to hide a few pounds.
Yeah, Bucky hates you and I walking in there and seeing him, right, for that sideline gear, right?
I go over and have to wear some of that gear our players are wearing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am so with you, man.
And more importantly, the offensive lineman side.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys.
Cheers, buddy. Good luck over there on Sunday.
You guys take care.